So what I'm going to do here, hello, I'm here somewhere. I'm going to take the mag off this Arriflex 16BL camera. So I have to loosen the mag with this knob here. It pops out. I pull the actual mag out. Gently put the camera over here. Hold this little red thing down so I can open the mag door by twisting that latch, lifting it up. Take these two little arms here, put them together for now. Use some compressed air. Blow out all dust and debris from there. Keep this as clean as possible. Got these tension arms here to hold the film in place onto the reels. And we got the take-up spindle here with the locking mechanism to lock the film in. And then under here, you have these gears. Let's take a good close look at these gears here. These gears all work together with the internal mechanisms to spin the internal parts. So I'm going to be using these gears at the same time as the spindles when I wind the film together. Take the film out of the bag, load it perforations down, and then there's a little sprocket mechanism down here to wind the film through, which I'm going to show you on a close-up. I'm going to put the arm back here just to hold the film. Feed the film through here, like this. Comes out this side. Zoom out just a tiny bit. All right. Guide the film along the edge of the magazine with my finger so I can feel there's a notch up top here. There's a notch. And I'm going to put the film close to the notch, not directly on it, but fairly close. And that establishes the length of film I have to create my loop. Move it around here. Bring it around to the other side. Use the gear under here to help guide the film in towards this hole over here. Make sure it catches. It caught nicely. I can wind it with the little gear where my finger is. The loop's already formed. Now I can take the film and put it onto this take-up roll here. Make sure it's flush, it doesn't pop out the top. Lock the film in place. Use the gear and help the film get wound up there. Alright, that should be good. Tension arms in place. Close the mag door. I've got my loop. And the one thing we didn't cover so far is opening up the gate here and resetting the registration pin. The pin is right here, right at the top of my fingernail. I'm just going to zoom in a bit so we can see it. Right here. You can see, watch this. It's going to move on its own. You can see the top mechanism popping up right there and then moving down while the pin moves back and forth. So I'm going to reset it now by making sure the pin is in the middle. There we go. And that way when I load film onto it, the perforations get stuck on that pin and it locks it in place, and then I can close the gate. Now, if I zoom out, I can show you what mechanism is actually doing it. It's on the top. Here it is right here. That's how we can reset the registration pin to be ready for the next mag to be loaded in the 16mm camera, the Arriflex 16BL or Arriflex 16BL. Now I want to load the magazine onto the camera, so I'm going to use this latch to open the door, take the mag, put it onto the top and feed the film, poke it through here, take the mag itself, sit it into position, use this pin at the front to push it in a little bit, and it locks in place. The mag's locked in place. And if I can have a closer look here, we have the gate over here, and on this underside of it I can feel where the pin is that fits in the sprocket hole. And there's also a little piece of metal where I got to fit it under. Now up here, as you can see, there's a silver line, and I have to keep the film itself kind of in line with that silver line. So what I do is hold my finger here approximately where I got to keep enough slack up top of that silver line guide. Find out where that pin is. Sticks to a sprocket. It's kind of a delicate operation here. Hold it into place. Shut the gate. And now you can see I've got a little bit of slack up here. That might even be a little too much slack. It's not bad, but it's more or less following that silver line. And then of course the film over here is very close to the silver line, so when you look at it on the side view, it's actually probably just a little too small of a loop. I'd have to redo the thing and make the loop just a tiny bit bigger. If I put power on the camera, I'd find out if that loop was okay, but I have a feeling it's just a little too small, so I'd have to make it a couple, maybe a sprocket hole larger or something next time I do it. Anyways, lock that into place, lock the door, and then you're ready to go. And of course you'd have to remember that creating the loop inside the film mag here is done inside a little tent, so you can't see it, it's all by feel. So pretty much you're doing it blind, and you have to do it a few times and get used to the whole process to be able to, load the film properly. Because without that, the film might catch, it might get stuck on a mechanism inside here. It has to be a pretty good loop to be able to play back properly. So here I am with the film changing tent open, and I'm going to take this sealed roll of film, I'm going to put it inside here somewhere. I'm going to make sure the tent, all the dirt has been taken out of the tent as well. And I've got the mag here, which I'll leave open. I'm going to take some compressed air and really clean this out to make sure there's no debris, that's gonna scratch the film when it's moving in here or ruin it or whatever. And I'm just gonna do this blind. So I'm gonna zip up the tent. Zip up the other side. It's got a dual layer just to make sure no light creeps in here. I put my arm through the armholes. You have to get your arms in here. Wow, as far as they go, up the arm. It's hard to do when you're alone. Get them right up there like that. I've got my arms in the armholes, and now I'm going to do it and see how long it takes me. So I'm taking the film out of the bag. You have to do this in the dark because you can't see, you don't want to, you don't want to expose the film. The film's going to be sensitive to light. Make sure the sprocket holes are on the bottom. Do everything I did in the light, only now I'm doing it in the dark. Load it on. And I'm not in any hurry to do this. I want to do it right. Wind it up just a little bit. Create some tension there. Make sure the tension arms are in place and the film isn't sloppy all over the place. Lock the mag. Pull my arms out. Created my loop. Of course, this is dead film. I'm not really worried about exposing it. And then, in real time, without changing the camera, I'm going to bring you over here. And I'm going to load this bag into the camera and see how my loop is. Lock it into place with the pin. It's locked in place. Make sure I got a little bit of slack up top and not too much slack. Hold the film in place. Is that enough slack? I think it is. Lock it in place. And it's almost a perfect loop. Look at that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Of course, let's take a close look at that, just to see the beauty of that loop. You can see the inside of that. There's the gate right there that the film is locked into. The emulsion side, of course, is on the outside, so it gets exposed within the gate. And there's my nice loop. Excellent. I can lock the door. No, I can't. Yes, I can. Done. Ready to go.
This core is called a collapsible core, one that basically on the take-up side of this one, you do have to make sure that when you what will happen, because there is no core on this, but just a collapsible, when you actually take this film off and need to get it into the lab, like when you actually have the film that's ready to go to the lab, you will have to take that off, obviously, in the bag and put it in a can like this, which I'll be doing anyway. There'll be obviously you'll have to put this in the bag. There'll be a black bag like this that your film will have to go into. Put that in the bag, put that in there. You then close that up and then seal that can up with that tape there that says film exposed on it, so that the lab knows that that film is ready to be obviously processed. The way to take this off, to be easy about it, we're just going to pop that off by pushing that off. To get that back on, you kind of push the center and push it down. That way you're I'm trying to remember the name of those core fillers or whatever. That'll sit inside that. So basically we've got we can pull our film out.